before we start this amazing conversation, what's the one misconception people have about fitness and losing weight?
Complications. People complicate the hell out of it to make themselves sound as if they've got the only answer, the secret sauce, if you like. And it's very simple. I think getting fit and healthy and everything it's doing it is different, but the actual theory and what needs to be done is simple. We overcomplicate it because we're trying to sell something, and overcomplication sounds sexy, whereas what I try and do doesn't. It's basic, simple stuff, man. That's it. My name's Hugh Phillips. I'm 57. Would you believe?
Young man.
I love training. I love exercise. I love getting men of my age back in the game. They tend to give up a little bit. They do the career thing. They do the kid thing. They do the life, and then they leave. The one thing they leave go is themselves. And I just love bringing them back into the game. So I coach men online. I have my own gym here, studio. I've got a couple of people that come there, but it's online and got people from all over the world, and it's humbling as hell. It's absolutely, it just blows my mind. But just getting men of my age that they can still get fitter and healthier, they can get better every day, even at whatever age we can do, whatever age we are. It's just, I just love that. I just love that.
How can someone still enjoy social events? We are now coming up to Christmas.
Yeah.
And still keep track of their weight goals or their fitness goals?
I think it's so simple. We just got to have a very basic plan, not a detailed, absolute military precision plan. We just got to have a strategy, I think, right, that sits underneath it. I tell my guys, if they're going away on a trip and they want to, just let me know and we'll work a plan out. It could be something simple like we'll just skip breakfast, or we'll skip a meal, or we'll make sure we get a walk in, or whatever it is, based on the situation, based on what they're going to do. So if people have got a night out, if people have got a Christmas night out, for example, it's going to be food and drink. Right, okay, so we'll pull it in for a few days before we go. On the day of the event, we may not eat until a little bit later, get a good walk in, get a gym session in, and just offset it a bit, but go out with no guilt, with no stress. Go out and enjoy the night, go and enjoy the food, go and enjoy the drink if that's what you're going to do, because it's one day out of 365. There's no need to get stressed. What we can't do is not go on the night out, not go and have something to eat, not go and enjoy, or go with guilt, go with, oh my God, I'm going to blow all my gains. You're not. Simple. It's simple.
And I would actually love to know, because you mentioned it, in your intro, that you love helping men in their 50s and like beyond. Why do you think quick fix diets and fitness regimes fail, especially men in their 50s, 60s, and possibly even men in their 40s?
Yeah, I think I use this bit of a line all the time, Tubbies. If something's got a start date, if you just start in a diet on this date, by default there's an end date. So by default you're going to fail because it's a plan for a certain time. It's generally extreme because we're in a results society. I mean, we're in an instant results society, right? So people want to start something Monday, and then by Sunday they've lost whatever, and by 2 weeks that they've done it. So everything is extreme. Extreme times in the gym, extreme diets, extreme low calories, extreme cardio, and it's just not sustainable. The answer to the long-winded answer to the question is the plans are not sustainable, which is why people, I would never do an 8 or a 12-week challenge ever, because you see the before pictures, you see the after pictures. What you never see is the after picture, and it messes with people's heads. They do 12 weeks where they absolutely lock everything down, and then all of a sudden that 12 weeks is up on that Sunday. So what happens on the Monday after? There's no plan. Do you know? Whereas what I try and show people is whatever we do today, I want you to be able to do this for life. How we eat, how we train, how we move. It's not, if people want a 12-week plan, I'm happy to say, sorry, I'm not willing to help you because I'm going to mess with your head. And that's not right. That's not right. So too extreme. Everything's to the extreme.
So it's really about changing your mindset and like being committed to a totally different lifestyle.
Yeah, and enjoying the process. You know, enjoy the process. Forget the result. I used to say this in my previous life. You know, whatever the goal is, that's great. Now, bin the goal. Let's develop a plan that will hit the goal. But the plan is what we love. We're not chasing the goal. We're chasing the plan. You know, get you enjoying going to the gym. So if you love going to the gym, then you're going to get the result. Not, oh, I'm chasing that result, because then you do extreme measures chasing the result. You know, I'm weighing tomorrow. Oh, I got a weigh day tomorrow, so I won't eat after midday today, or crazy stuff. Whereas just love going to the gym, love moving, love the food you eat. Eat only food you love. You know, that does the job, of course. And then guess what? If you do those things and you love those things, then the result has to follow. It has to come along. Again, keeping it simple, keeping it simple.
What is your opinion about sleep? You know, we have been brought up in this society, especially men, that sleep is the cousin of death, and like us, like men in our 40s, 50s, and like beyond, there's like a lot of pressure for us to get a lot of stuff done within the 24 hours. And to like neglect certain things, and sleep is like one of them. But I would love to get your opinion about how important sleep is.
I think sleep and recovery, right, are one and the same thing for me. I think they're vital. I think they're critical. You know, but sleep, you know, you don't have to have 8 to 10 hours per night. It's whatever works for you. But the idea is to wake up refreshed and ready to go again, isn't it? You know, but we can't leave ourselves get to a position where we're trying to catch up on our sleep or catch up on our recovery. It's too late. We need to put things like, you know, just when I go to bed at 9, not because for any other reason. I get up early because all my working life I work nights and I work late. So when I didn't work in my, you know, I switched it. But I think sleep is vital, but so is recovery. You know, taking that sauna to breathe, taking that massage, taking that walk in the fields or in the up the mountains, whatever you do. It's all about recovery. You know, but recovery it's not a reaction. It's a precursor to go again. It's not a recovery tool. Do you know? Does that make sense? It's not meant to be burnt out. You're wiped out. You're stressed out. Right. I need sleep. I need to recover. No, let's get the recovery in first. Does that make sense?
Yes, 100%, 100%. Because I like find a lot of people who are new to fitness or new to some like sort of regime. They literally go hell for leather, and then they break down the body, and literally all of the body's hurting, and that puts them off going again because they don't want to have that feeling.
Absolutely. It goes back to that extremes, isn't it? You know, I know we're going to talk about how long I spend in the gym, you know, because like people just can't believe it, you know, and it's like, again, the idea is we're trying to energize the body, not smash it to bits. You know, you're not meant to leave the gym on your hands and knees, you know, completely and utterly obliterated. That's not a training session, you know. You're meant to work hard, but walk out there going, oh yeah, that was tough, but you know, that was great. Not absolutely hating it because you've done all sorts of crazy stuff. And again, especially this time of year, if your exercise regime is so extreme, you know, it's getting darker, it's colder, it's raining. People will go, oh, the real reason is it's not that it's dark, it's cold, I'm tired, it's too early. The real reason is you don't want to go and do the training plan. Do you know? Like if you love your training plan, you'll plow through snow, wouldn't you, to go and do your training plan? Do you know? But if you don't like it, you'll use any excuse to go. And the biggest one I think of all is time. people just spend too long doing it. Just spend too long doing it. And it's just with so much wasted exercises that go, or wasted sets, wasted reps. That's what, because, you know, traditionally we meant to go to the gym for an hour. Who said? I always ask the question, who said? Who said? Who decided that? You know, it's like 4 sets of 8 to 12 in my day was what you meant to do per exercise. Who said? Who said? You know, who came up with that? It's a nice rounded number, isn't it? You know, whereas I do 1 set and that's it. You know, so yeah, I just think it's just too extreme. You're right, it's just too extreme, and diet too extreme.
Okay, all right. So very interesting. So like you do 1 set of an exercise. So yeah. How long do you spend, you know, at your gym?
If I spend 30 minutes, I've either taken some pictures or something, right? It's 20 minutes to 25 minutes, that sort of range. That's it. That includes warm-ups, right? Nothing is skimped. I don't rush. It's not a circuit. It's hard. It's tough. You've got to earn that 20. I say to people, you've got to earn that 20 minutes, you know. You can't come in, flounce around, do a couple of little bits and pieces and leave after 20 minutes. It's not as simple as that. But if we take out all the unnecessary stuff, take out all the inefficient stuff, don't complicate it. So there's no complicated rep structure. It's go in there. We'll do a couple of warm-up sets, 1 set. That's it. Move on, exercise. Just do 1 set to get the motion or get the movement, then 1 set, then we move on. And I love the psychology of why that works, right? But it's like, just do 1 set, you know, do a little set to get ready, right? Ready, now we go. Because we warmed up, the body's warmed up. And if we did 4 sets of an exercise, for me, all we're doing is eating into our reserves, eating into the body's reserves, right? We've only got so much energy to give, right? We're eating into that. But also, if you're doing 4 sets, first set is going through the motions. Second set, still going through the motions. Third set, you're starting to get a bit bored with it. So you'll do 8, right? Time you get to the 4th set, you're bored with it. You've lost concentration. 100% you've lost concentration. All you want to do then is just get that 1 set done. Right, I've done my 4. But you haven't actually done any work in those 4 sets. You've just done what the body's very capable of doing. And that's the difference. That's the difference. Whereas 1 set, pushed hard, pushed to the limit, job done.
Wow. So with your 1 set, you would push to failure, and to anyone out there, could you literally explain what failure is?
Yeah, failure is different to in everybody's case. Like, you know, people can go past failure, you know, experience. But for most people, you know, if I had Joe Blogs in the gym, once they can't move that weight safely and correctly, and then they've got to, if it's a safe exercise, we can do a couple of half reps or partials, as we call them, then we're done. That's it. We've shot the horse at this point. There ain't no point in shooting it no more. I keep saying really corny phrases, you know. Once it's done, it's done. Once we've hit that nail right on the head, there ain't no point in hitting the nail again. Then the nail is in. The nail is in. Once we've done it, it's done.
How can someone, let's kind of take an example, a man who's 55.
Yeah.
How can that man build confidence in their body after years of neglect and literally want to now get into a gym or literally now looking to change their lifestyle?
Yeah, I would agree. That's one of the toughest things of all. Getting started is one of the hardest, because gyms, let's face it, gyms are intimidating places. They really are. You know, I'm lucky. I love them. I walk into gyms all over the world and I flounce in like a child, going into Smith's Toys. You know, it's like a toy shop. You know, I was in Dubai recently, going into some of the big gyms you see on YouTube. You know, Binus, and but I get they're not for everybody. They are intimidating places. But I always say to people, the hardest part is going in. Go in. If I got a client who I'm not going to see, I say to them, right, we found your gym, we've helped you source your gym. The first session, just go through the door. Literally go through the door. That's it, right? And if you're able to go and if you've got 4 exercises on your plan, pick the one that you absolutely know you can do. Usually a lat pull down or something, or a leg. Just go do that exercise and leave. Just leave. Just leave. Just do one exercise, couple of sets. Who cares? Don't worry about the weight. Don't worry about. Just go in, build up that confidence. That then you realize, well, nobody's actually looking at me. They're all looking at their phones or the mirrors. Once, and then they go the second time, and we might do 2 exercises. Again, we're not hitting the plan at this stage. It's just a matter of going in. And it usually takes, in my experience, about 4 sessions, and people go, oh, it's easy. It's fine. It's fine. But it is tough. It's one of the hardest things of all, starting and going into a gym. It is really tough. I will say it's hard. It's hard. It takes a bit of work, and it's not easy.
I can't remember what podcast I was listening to, so literally I can't even coin the phrase, but someone said the heaviest weight in the gym is the front door of the gym. That's the heaviest weight. Yeah. Because 100%. It's the mindset of waking up and getting to your car, or if you walk, or if you take a bike. And then if you actually think about the process of, I've got to warm up. There's like other people that, that could be there. I might drop the weight on my foot. I might do it wrong. And you can actually psych yourself out from going to the gym, right?
Absolutely. And again, one thing I'm insistent on everybody, have a plan, right? Because if you walk into a gym and you don't have a plan to follow, you walk in and there's 1,000 machines, all that chrome, all the people, all dressed in Gymshark, right? It's totally overwhelming, right? Whereas if you walk in with a plan and doing those 4 exercises, by default, you're walking in with confidence, right? What am I doing first? Lat pull down. You go straight to the lat pull down machine, right? So by default, you're building your own confidence because you're not walking in and going, which machine you're going in, right? Lat pull down, that's there. Can you see what I'm saying? You're actually walking there with purpose, with intent, because you know what you're doing. You do your 2 sets there, right? What's next? Leg extensions, that's over there. You go, rather than sort of, you feel as if you're in the middle of the gym, sort of biting your lip, going, what do I do next? So go in with a plan, stick to that plan, bang, you're done. And the other secret, I tell everybody, if you're going in a gym, this works. I don't know how, it just does, right? Get yourself a set of these, the big ones, right? When you've got those on, nobody will talk to you. Nobody will make eye contact with you. Nobody will it's like a shield. It's like walking around the gym with a shield on. They absolutely work. Everybody buys a set of those. They just work. So, but go in with a plan. Go in with a plan. Follow that plan. And by default, you go into that machine, that machine, that machine, that machine, done, rather than standing there, Again, keeping it simple. Keep it simple. Basic. Keep it basic. Every plan I ever do is basic. If people say to me, is that it? I know I've got them. I know I've got them. If they ever say, oh, I love that. This looks really, really interesting and it's too complicated, right? We'll scrap that. Let's start again.
I totally agree. I have one of the biggest headphones ever. And I feel at home when I've got them on. Because again, literally, I'm just focused on the set or the sets. I'm kind of focused on the things I have to do. I'm also focused on the time as well, because of course, I've like got a song playlist. So I'm thinking, if I've gone over that song playlist, then what am I not doing right for me to be here longer than I should?
Yeah, love that.
So it's a great like barometer or like measure for me to know how long I've been at the gym. So I mean, I totally agree in that. Totally.
I just when people get, because everybody's skeptical about doing sort of 20 minutes in the gym, right? But when people get it, when they really get it, they like, we're buying back time, aren't we? We're getting fit. We're buying back time. because when our bodies are working well, we're more productive, so we get more time back. By only going in the gym for 20 minutes, you're saving that extra 40 minutes you're meant to be in there, plus your body's working better, so you're far more productive outside the gym. And when they get it, people just go, I can't believe it. I've got a client, right? I will say, Alex, and whenever I speak to him, he's in West London. Whenever I speak to him, I won't use the language he uses, but he says, I have no idea how it works. I don't know how or why it works. It just does, And I've got my reasons and I got my theories behind how it works as well. And I'd love to go into those with you as well,
Okay, so I've got another avatar for you, another example. So this is, let's say his name is Alex. He is 52 and he is a business owner.
Yeah.
A very successful business owner.
Yeah.
Why do you think Alex struggles with consistency and focus when it kind of comes to his own fitness and his diet?
Couple of it's a multitude of things, right? But the big ones for me are people say time, right? I don't buy that. Because I can I've got different views, but if it's important, if he was meeting a potential client 100 miles away, the other side of London, for example, every day, and that client was £1 million contract, he would find that time to go meet that client, wouldn't he? So if it's important, you'll do it. A couple of reasons. One, they don't have that self-belief. A lot of guys I deal with, they may have big businesses, right? Have all the trappings, but the confidence levels underneath that's their playground. That's where they're comfortable. That's where they're confident. That's where they rule the roost. Outside of that, a lot of the time they're very, timid guys. So it's that fear of failure potentially because they're so successful in everything else they do. It's the fear of failure. It's the fear of not knowing what to do, of looking like somebody that's completely lost, whereas they used to dominating in the boardroom and stuff. But half the time as well, it's an excuse. It's just an excuse. I'm busy. Look at the life I've got, all the stuff I've got to do, so I can't get to the gym. I would go to the gym. You know me. I would go to the gym. I would look after myself, but I'm super busy. And it becomes a bit of a front, And when you strip it all back, I'm lucky, I'm happy at my age now to have a real go at people if I think it's for the right reason, to try and unpack them, because once we get underneath it and they realize that, my God, they have to do something. You've got the big house, the cars, the business, yet your health is in a really bad state, and there's only one asset we've got to Brees and Mile, and that's our health. That's it. It's the only asset we've got, So there's a whole stack of reasons. They don't believe they can. It's for younger people. It's different for me. All excuses. When you strip it back, all excuses.
Hugh, I would love to kind of delve into something that is really prominent right now is like stress and the mental well-being of men of 40s and 50s. How can someone manage their mental health or the stress while still trying to maintain like a fitness regime or like possibly fat loss?
Yeah, I was with a mate of mine who's got who's got a small company that deals with mental health in the workplace. He lost his job in the steelworks, came out, had a tough time himself, and then turned that into a business. So I meet him every couple of weeks, and there's no doubt that mental well-being needs physical support. If you're not in good physical condition, right, and you're feeding your body all sorts of rubbish, and again, this is not the eat clean movement. I've got a Jaffa cake dispenser there. It's empty, because I've eaten them all, right? It's not about being the perfect, organic, lovely. It's not. But if you're constantly feeding your body rubbish and not using your body to what it's capable of, then how are we meant to have great mental health? I think the two are sort of so entwined, So I think getting somebody started to look after themselves by making small changes. You know, I think that's the support, the foundation for better mental well-being. You know, and then alcohol is another one. I'm not a non-drinker, but alcohol is another one where people are, you know, and it's well documented. But nobody, you don't come out of that well, do you? After a night out or, you know, an excessive. And I used to do it. We've all done it, you know. But I think there's no doubt that mental well-being is a big topic at the moment, you know. And men, we don't talk about it either, do we? We don't. And I know we don't do that sort of thing. But I'm working with Martin now as well, going in and doing some talks with people going into businesses. You know, he does what he does about how to manage, you know, stressful circumstances. And I sort of support him with, no, this is what we can do and why we should eat a bit better to help our mental health. Because if we don't have that sort of education, if you like, how does drinking water and going to the gym and eating food, decent food, how does that help? You know, but when we sort of try and break it down nice and simply, it's priceless. And when we turn somebody around, it's pretty special, mind. It's pretty special. It really is. Because the power of the gym, once people get it, it's phenomenal. What it teaches you about life is phenomenal.
Could you give me 3 pieces of advice for any man over 50? And then could you give another 3 pieces of advice for men over 50 looking to get into like a fitness regime or looking to get back into the gym?
So general advice for men over 50?
Please.
Yeah. Okay. Firstly, you can, whatever it is, not forget fitness for a minute. You know, if you want to start that new hobby, you can do it. It's not too late. That's nonsense. That's some preconceived thing you've got in your head. I can't learn Spanish because I'm 50, or I can't, you know, learn carpentry or I don't know, computer skills. Absolute nonsense, isn't it? Nonsense. You know, again, I think that's a self lie. You know, you're convincing yourself that not to do it, Alice, because I'm 50. You know, absolute nonsense. Secondly, I would just encourage people, go and do something crazy. You know, go and do something crazy. Sign up for something crazy. I don't know, whatever your thing is, to prove to yourself that, you know, there is a purpose. Because I think men of our age, my age, lack purpose. You know, they may have no mortgage, a couple of quid in the bank, decent job, everything's nice and fluffy, but there's no purpose. You know, I see so many blokes my age now retiring. What the hell do you do? If you retire, what do? You get up in the morning. So what fires you up? What gets you out of bed? So pick something. I would say to them, pick something that frightens you, scares you a little bit, but gives you that energy to get out of bed and gives you that fire in the morning. Because I was going to work myself, and I could do it. I've been there so long. I was just doing it standing on my head, you know, having no fire at all. It's going in, churning it out, dealing with whatever, go home, you know, and all we doing, men of my age, is paying the bills, bringing the money in, going on a nice holiday, you know, going to Barbados, great, but you're not living. You're living to go for 2 weeks a year. So I would advise people go and try something. Go and be special. Go and be your own stuff. Go and be the center of your own story. Go and create your story. No one's going to create the story for you. Go and create your own story, man. You know, fitness-wise, I would get some help. Get some help from people, from someone that you trust. You know, it could be on social media or somebody recommended. You know, get some help. Get some help. Don't go extreme. You know, keep everything simple, like you chipping away at things. So keep everything basic, simple. Again, I've got nothing sexy to say on that subject, because everything I teach is boringly simple. Boringly simple. Let's get results. Let's get results and enjoy, not look for the next greatest. People are always looking for the when I got, you know, I use this, you know, I've had people come to me. If I picked my gym up and put it in their garden. If I moved in with them, lived in their house, cooked every meal for them, right, they would go, oh, that's great. Now, as soon as work settles down, I'll be good to go then. There's always that something, you know, they're always looking for that next block because it's a shield, isn't it? It's a vindication. Well, I would start, I would look after myself, but you know, I got this to do first, you know, and I don't buy it. So get some help, keep it simple, and nothing extreme. Nothing extreme, but you've got to get help. If you choose not to do anything, your health's going to do that. That's the fact of life, isn't it? So do it by doing something. Even if you just stop it doing that, you get it better because you're not declining, you know. But people of my age can get fitter and healthier, and 1,000,000%, 1,000,000%, it can all get better. And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you at our age then want to go, well, I want to go back playing walking football or over 50s football or take the kids to Florida? Because that's the story I used with my kids years ago. Right? When, you know, when I'm taking you to Florida and your kids and I'm paying, if you think I'm sitting on a bench with a bad back, tired, while you're up on Summit Plummet or, you know, Tower of Terror, you can think again. I'm you know, you want to be in life, don't we? We want to be in life. We don't want to be sat on the sidelines, you know. So men of my age, you have to do something. That's the serious part. You have to do something. Stop being so selfish, right? Your children, wife, in-laws, whoever. I've got elderly in-laws. They need us. Somebody needs us to step up, you know. And by going into self-pity mode, I'm busy, I'm tired, I'm stressed. Great. You're not the only person that's busy. You're not the only person that's got a tough job. You're not the only person with kids. You're not the only person who works long hours. I'm not buying it. Bullshit. Come on, let's go. Let's go. And 20-minute sessions. If you haven't got 20 minutes 3 times a week, that's all it takes. I stand on stage now, right? I'm completely natural. I don't take any. I tell people that not for a moral statement, right? Because in a free world, but I just want to show people that it can be done, you know. And I train for about 80 minutes a week, you know. So you can get in good shape and get great energy and buy back time with no extremes. Nothing's extreme. We train hard, but it's smart. You know, I don't train arms, I don't train biceps, I don't do bench pressing, I don't do deadlifts, and I don't do squats. The 3 exercises that are risky for me, you know, for anybody, not just men of my age. So we just take out all the noise, all the fluff, all the influencer stuff, you know, the confusion. Just get rid of it all. But yeah, do it. I just urge men of my age, go and do something. Start walking for a start. Walking is number one. Walking, just walk. You know, put your headphones in. Go and have a walk a couple of times a week. You know, whatever it is, just make a start. But get some help. Get a nice plan, and then you got something to, because it gives us that purpose. Because I said earlier, I think men of our age, I think a lot of the problems comes from not having purpose. What do I do? You're earning good money anyway, so that doesn't matter. The house is generally paid for, so that's good. Got a nice car, great. But where's the fire come from? Do you know, where's the energy come from? You know, and that's the bit I love, just getting people energized, back in the game.